In Blacksmith you can't do the same thing again. You make 10 pieces, you can find each and every one again. For someone who doesn't know it, they look all the same. But if you look at it better, you can see it. Because every hit with the hammer isn't the same. Every piece you make is unique. If you see something, that's nice. And you start making it and it's totally different when you finish them. That's nice. It still works, it does the same thing. It doesn't look the same, but... A lot of stuff is made that way. By mistakes.
I was at home playing my piano and I've always been just doing covers of other songs and just playing something other people have written. And suddenly I wanted to do something by myself, like something that was from me. I don't know what I was thinking, I was just jamming and it came about and I liked it.
It is long time ago. It was 1986, December. We laid the keel for the boat. That time you could build the boat within 10 tons and the quota was free for that. I was chief mate on this trawler that time, and the plan was to stop working on this trawler and start fishing on the small boat. That was a dream in the beginning. This is no mass product. This is the only boat like this in the whole world. My father, he made the plan of the boat. When he built his first boat, he had not seen any boat built before. Just started building small boats and then they grew bigger and bigger. This one here is almost 12 meters. So he wanted always to build a boat like this big. That was his dream as well as mine. He was a farmer, but this was his desire, I think, building boats. The keel was laid 86. And my father died 88, so maybe that made the break for a long time. It was not possible for one man to keep on with that.
I have been carving and it doesn't come what I want it to come out, so the wood makes it come. I do not see it right away where the face is, so I have to roll them over to find where is the face. And you see how the mountains are in Iceland. They often go with the cliffs and then it comes like this. So the Icelandic landscape is in all of them.
When I came here, I was interested in seeing Iceland. Decided to come here in 2005. Worked on farm here and there. and ended up by coincidence in Thingeyri. Stayed there for some time and thought, yeah, this is kind of a nice place to be. Then there was a house standing abandoned, and we decided to buy it and fix it up. The project got out of hand. That's the short story.
We were rebuilding it and putting a lot of money into it, and we sort of discovered the interior and all the nice things sort of along the way, and the nice condition of the house. Everything was intact from 1915, and it was a bit of a sort of hidden treasure that we discovered once we started to clean out everything in the house. There was a lot of trash in here, and then the idea started to arise that we had to do something here for ourselves, but also for the village and for everyone. It's not some sort of dream that I ever had to open a coffee house. People think, oh, so was it always your dream to do it? And I was like, no.
If we would not have done the coffee house, then we had to make a living room there or something. It would be a waste of the space. This house asked to be used for public reasons in a way.
And then we moved here, like, eventually, more and more. It started with the house. It didn't start for us with a big dream to do it. It started with, wow, there's a house standing there.
There was a music teacher here from Estonia. He had musical instruments from all over the world, and I was very curious about them, and I couldn't afford to buy them even if I wanted, so why not making them myself? And he actually started to ask me if I could make a langspiel for him, and I said yes, and I tried. It wasn't very good looking because it was my first. That's how they look today, and I'm very happy with them. I made this machine here. It's called thickness sander. I just put my vacuum cleaner just here, so it sucks out all the dust that comes from the wood. I just bought the paper, sandpaper, that's it. I didn't buy anything else. Washing machines, usually the brain or whatever it's called is breaking down, so usually the motor is okay. People throw away the washing machine, but the motor is okay, so yeah, why not? And a car jack here. I play it with a bow or a stick, or you can strum it with your fingers, like so. But usually you put the instruments in your lap and play it like that, so you don't hold it, don't play it like guitar.
Well, my garden is a kind of wild garden. And wild garden is a garden where it's easy to keep alive. You don't need to be nurturing them all the time, you just water them. Also, it's good to have a wild garden like that, and you can always pick flowers without noticing. There's a lot of different types of this in Iceland, and they grow wild here. So we pick them up and put them in our garden. Across the fjord there, you see there is a waterfall from the mountain. At springtime, I look up there. When the water starts running, it's not going to be another blizzard. But if it's not running, there will come one more or two more. But when the water starts running there, that's spring. There are things like that you learn from nature if you are brought up in a farm. Our next door neighbors is the symmetry. They're very nice neighbors, no complaints on either side.
The plan was to build fishing boat in the beginning. They changed the law, so I did not have any possibilities to get quota for that boat. So after that, I did not do anything for many, many years, and I was even thinking about put the boat on fire and just stop to think about this. We went to Africa and we lived in Africa for some years, me and my family. We moved to Namibia, and I was not thinking about, yeah, of course I was thinking about the boat, but that was not until 2004. This is the last ring of the circle of the pine. So I made it with the help of my wife here. And I got my brother to help me with this oak frame. That is where chapter 2 started. My father was only 62 years old when he died, so I am sometimes thinking about, I am now 60 years old, and at this time my father had only 2 years more. for a living. But I mean, that is only something to think about. It is doing no good to think about how many years you have to see how much you have left of your candle. No, it's not good. Better know nothing. I have been working in so critical situations that I know that when I die, I am ready to die. Just like that. I have seen a trawler sinking just close by our side, and we were lucky that we could save the crew. I have seen enough. I have spent 46 years at sea. When the guy with his coming, I don't worry about that.
Okay. Yes, I mean.
Alveg svo þurrt líka.
Já.
Okay.
Smá hérna er að hérna.
Það sláir það saman?
Já. Smá. Já, hérna. No, really hard.
The nail go out like this because of the shape?
This tip is like rounded a bit.
Oh.
This is straight and this goes like this. So that's, you know they're gonna go out.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, flott.
In a little village like this, there is not so many things to do. It's a really nice area to be, but not much happens. So you're often driving to Dýrafjörður because you heard there is a concert or a party, because you're afraid you're gonna miss out on something. I mean, later, it's just another party or another bar evening. So, and then you tend to more just settle down with just the easiness of Thingeyri. One of the things I found interesting is horse riding, because the landscape is just incredible to use. So my best friend here, Guðmundur, he's 77, he had horses with his son Ragnar. They taught me a lot. I was using their horses in the beginning, and then 2 years ago we decided to start up the horse rental. You're gonna ride the last one, dude. It's a little bit outside the village, 3 kilometers. It's always very relaxing to go there. It's a bit of like in your own little world with the horses. And of course the nature is something unique. It's quite raw and harsh, but it's pure beauty. When you live here, it gives you a big feeling of freedom. Always have this space.
take scrap metal and melt it back. Been recycling since 1913, so. And every metal we can get. Cast iron we heat up to about probably 1500 to 1600 degrees. Then it's very easy to pour it. can heat it more. You can go up to 700 degrees, but then you're losing the material. It's just burning up. It's always getting more and more with which we are recycling. Like now we heat the oven with the old engine oil. We get more heat of it and it's got about half an hour quicker. Instead of buying some gasoline for it. And it's cheaper and we don't have to send it to be wasted. The time we have from taking the pot out of the oven, we have to finish the pouring is about 15 minutes. And it gets like a whipped cream. You even get a problem shaking it out. and it gets red again. And one morning you have to wear gloves to take it out because it's still gonna be about 300 or 400 degrees.
I remember when I was a boy, I was born in a farm here, 15 kilometers outside Thingeyri. It was not until I was 10 years old when my father bought a diesel generator. Before that we had no electricity, so we had no freezing system, we have no fridge. It was not easy to keep food. This was only work, never-ending work. No television, no electricity, but life was more simple. And for me, it was never boring, always something to do.
Growing up here was, the best. We go hiking and camping. We don't have to go far because the nature is here all around. There's only 250 people living here right now, but it has been like 500 or so. Most of my friends, they have moved away to Reykjavik or to the city. But I like it here.
I love the nature and love with my dad. We always went every weekend just hiking and picking stones and some opal too, right?
When we moved here from the East Coast, we had 1,600 kilos of stones. And the guy who drove the car, he said, "You were crazy." That's how it runs. They put on the water, here goes the water, and there goes the salt. It's a motor from a washing machine, the pump. These are the Icelandic jewels. Oh, this is rose quartz. You never know what you see on a stone. This is jaspis. It's very hard, but with lots of flecks in it, all the stripes. And there is a little bit of a blue opal in here. Can't see it here, it's just on that side of the stone. It's a very small. This is not made for cutting jaspis, it's just for cutting tiles. Works enough for me.
The summer before we opened the coffee house, we had 2 friends from Belgium helping us in the coffee house, and we started to talk about, yeah, we should maybe just have a Belgian waffle iron, just sort of out of the blue. And we're like, yeah, we'll order one, and had it shipped over. It was not some sort of smart marketing plan. We were just like, yeah, we need to have a waffle iron. It arrived and we're like, okay, let's just bake some waffles and invite the whole village so they can see what we've been doing. There wasn't anything in here except we sort of cleaned it out and painted it. And I think we had almost the whole village coming for waffles, and they really liked it. It was kind of funny. And now we become sort of famous for our Belgian waffles, which was just a coincidence.
First I just made one for myself, and then it was another one who saw it and said this was something fantastic. So I made for other people, and it has been quite popular. No 2 are alike. These are already made. I just see it. I mean, this was not made by me. I do so little. The nature has already made this. All you have to do is, open your eyes. It's all around you.
Sometimes I think of lyrics or use old poems or something, and then I find chords I like to it. Sometimes I do the melody first and then the lyrics. Sometimes I don't even do lyrics like with the piano song. There's no routine or anything, it's just do something until it's a song. Sometimes it just comes when I'm sitting or thinking or walking, just something pops into my head and just try to hold on to it. I get really calm when you hear everything so quiet and nothing really going on, so you could just nature, and you just lose track of time and just stay, and yeah, you get a lot of time to think about music.
I remember when I was in Iceland, although in the beginning, and you see the guys with the gun like and shooting some birds or the sheep and slaughtering it yourself. And then you realize, of course, this is how it is. Of course, it's not fun to hold a sheep and feel it dying when they shoot it, and then you have to cut off the skin and take the meat out. But this is how your meat is processed. But it's easy when you just buy it in the supermarket and wrapped in plastic. But when you do it yourself, it makes sense.
You get so connected with plants and birds, and you notice, well, this bird comes and goes, so you know they are coming, they are nesting. And the blackbirds on the sea, they are back. And it's very calm to be near nature like that.
When you're working in the garage, most of the tools you're using should be in a museum, so. And it's a question if you should be there too, but. So if you're working with a wrench that is about 80 years old, it still does the same thing as a new one does, even better. And many tools is, if they break down, you just fix them and keep going. And I've been working with old hammers. You can be hitting steel with them and I don't see a mark on them. And you can get a new one, you hit the steel with it and it's no mark on the steel, just a hammer. It's not always newest is best. Many of the old things are made to last. Nowadays they don't. And that's something I don't like so much. Much better to make things that can last.
This thing about new thing today and throw it away tomorrow, it's never going to work. It has to stop. It will kill everything. It doesn't give anything.
In the end, it's about life quality here. You have a very simple way of life, which also means that you don't have to earn a lot of money to cover that simple life. If you then earn a little bit more, that gives you the opportunity to go out once in a while and explore and travel, which is necessary, then you're really good. That's what we are after.
Just before we moved here, I lived 3 months in New York, and then I was ready to move to Thingeyri. It was kind of nice contrast. It's a complete change of mentality to move here, to learn to live here. It takes time.
If the boat will be finished tomorrow or after 1 year or 2 years, it is not so important for me because I like the building of the boat. I don't know how it will be to sail the boat. However, this time I have spent here for me has been very good time. And I hope that it will be like that in the future. My friends, they tell me that I have to get someone to look inside my head because something crazy is going on there. So I don't care about if I am crazy or not. This is just what I like to do. The fact is, you have only 70, 80 years on this planet we call Earth. And that is only up on you and nobody else, how you are going to spend it. But this is very short time if you compare that to the whole universe. 70, 80 years, that is just finished like this. It is just a blink. And that is all upon you, how you are going to spend it.
To be a young boy with my grandparents here in a community which was small but extraordinarily strong, and where the survival of each and every person depended on everybody coming together. It was the legacy that these people gave me that has provided the strongest roots throughout my career and gave us this extraordinary vision and roots, which always have provided me with a better guidance than any academic career. To some extent, these farmers and fishermen were aristocrats in the best sense of that word.